Professor Kingsfield, may I ask you a question about the letter to Judge Etlin?
Observe this spectacle, Nottingham.
All the ladies and gentlemen come to recruit.
Gentlemen and ladies, a plague of locusts. Every year they swarm all over our law school, wreaking havoc, disrupting our classes, and turn our students' eyes green with greed. You and I seem to be looking through different glasses, Nottingham.
Good day, Mr. Hart.
Ford. How did that guy know my name? I've never seen him before in my life.
I don't know, but stay away from him. He smiled at you like a butcher about to slice up the fatted calf.
Listen, Golden, I hear there's this firm in Houston that throws in a free car, doesn't even make you work the whole summer, pays like $1,000 a week.
There is, but all they do is bankruptcy work.
I hear Janes and Ford pays top dollar.
They know what they want, Carter, and they're willing to pay to get it.
Their rep is that they do anything to win a case. Now, didn't they get investigated by the Bar Association?
One of their partners is reprimanded for not disclosing certain evidence. They play to win Jordan hardball.
Hey, Hart, your roommate is Ford's son, isn't he? Could you put in a good word for me?
Zeiss, Golden, what is the interviewing process really like? I mean, what do you talk about when you meet the lawyers?
Okay. Just two simple things. The recruiters look you over to see if you're presentable. Will they be ashamed to take you to their lunch clubs? Then they pump you for your grades, trying to figure out your class standing. The law school won't release student grades to recruiters. It was a Kingsfield command. I believe his comment was you had worked for your grades and therefore had the right to decide what to do with them.
Well, I got an interview with a San Francisco firm. Now, if they want me, should I hold out for a bonus or what?
Zeiss, what do you think this whole thing is about? Why are firms giving you summer jobs, throwing money at you? It's because when you graduate, they want you to take a full-time job with their firm. Don't worry about a bonus. If they want you back, they'll give you anything to get you. The summer job is just round one. Look, we have an issue to get out, so back to work, clowns, for your feeble brains can't seem to understand that you don't work for the firm that offers you the most money, gives you the most perks. You work for the firm with the most interesting law cases. You want to learn, not earn. That is my last word on the subject. Finito.
Professor, I wonder if I could ask you a question about recruitment. It concerns the reputation of some of these law firms.
Mr. Hart, my seminar always starts precisely on time. That gives us exactly 8 seconds to make our respective places. No, you may not ask a question. A second-year student in this seminar has raised the subject of recruiting. Upon reflection, I wish to offer a few thoughts on the subject. Every year, lawyers from all over this country descend upon this school, interviewing second-year students for summer jobs. They appear to be reasonable, respectable ladies and gentlemen of high moral character, benign Santa Clauses, offering the gift of a high-paying summer job and good training in the law. I assure you that this is a delusion. They are manta rays disguised in suits, competing against each other to secure the services of the most intelligent of our students, fighting like hyenas over the bodies of a chosen few. We have no internal security police at this school to control them, to monitor their machinations. There is no way for us to stop their unethical activities, which have unfortunately become a part of the recruiting process. Where a specific breach of rules is discovered, we can ban the perpetrators from the campus. But finally, this school must rely not on the lawyers and law firms, but on its own students. If any dignity, integrity, and honor is to enter into this process.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Kurt. Your bags arrived 2 hours ago. I took the liberty of having them unpacked. Good. The suite seems satisfactory.
It's fine. It's fine.
I hope you had a good trip, sir. Oh, and congratulations on winning the herb manufacturing case.
Thank you.
I had a little trouble doing our usual job of research, sir. I'm afraid it'll cost the firm a little more than we expected.
I thought it would. What have you got, Kurtz?
Well, I've got the list. I got it from someone in the registrar's office. It shows the class standing in order and each student's grade point average after his name.
Well, let's see who we're going to be interviewing and who got the highest grade point average. James T. Hart.
Well, there used to be a gentleman's agreement. All the major firms paid the same low wages for summer work. But Dad wanted the best students, so he paid them more money. Well, salaries took off. Dad's firm paved the way for law students to get high-paying summer jobs.
In other words, your father is responsible for the entire madness of recruitment?
I thought you liked my father.
Oh, I do. Nice seeing him last year. But we're not talking about your dad. We are discussing the senior partner of a major law firm.
My father took over Janes and Ford from his father when the firm was virtually bankrupt, and he has completely turned it around. He's made it into the leading merger takeover specialist firm in the nation. Dad invented the Iron Maiden.
The what?
It's a technique when one company wants to get hold of another company. The technique of an unfriendly takeover. He has blown more companies out of the water. It is amazing. Our president is there sitting at his desk, worrying about his stock options, and the next thing he knows, his company's been bought. Dad has changed the names on millions of stock certificates.
And created monopolies.
No, he's done a lot of good. He has consolidated companies, kept dozens from going under.
I'm sorry, Ford. I'm not convinced.
Well, why don't you just reserve judgment till you see him?
Hey, Ford, give the vulture my love.
Bill, please ask before you come in, okay? A knock isn't enough.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm too damn nervous. I got my first interview tomorrow, and I don't want to blow it. This is what I'm going to wear. How do I look? Industrious? Smart?
You need a little help.
Cheers. Well, sit down, Franklin. Sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have something for you.
Oh, Dad. Oh, thank you.
Well, I just thought that this summer you would be functioning as a lawyer for the first time, and you would want or need some way to carry your papers.
I love it.
Good. Well, tell me about yourself. How do you like living away from the dorms? How is the second year?
I like it. We've got some freedom. My roommate Hart's a great guy.
Yes, your roommate, Mr. Hart. I'm going to be interviewing him for a position.
Good luck. Tonight he was talking as if Janes and Ford were the robber barons of the legal world. I think he's been brainwashed.
Oh, Charles W. Kingsfield, no doubt.
Who else?
Well, we'll have to see if we can't change Mr. Hart's mind. The outside world is very different from the closeted, idealistic seminary of a law school. However, we'll work very hard to change his mind. We only want to hire the very best. And your friend has a 3.8 grade average.
Oh, so you've talked to Hart already?
No, I haven't. But we have an appointment set up for this Thursday.
Dad, grades are sacred at law school. The school never gives them out. How do you know what Hart's grades are?
How do I know Mr. Hart's grades? I think I can best answer that with a question. Why is my law firm the most successful in the country?
Ford, you've got a job with your dad. You don't have to put up with this interviewing. So, should I borrow one of your ties?
Sure. Help yourself.
Something wrong?
No, nothing.
Hi, I'm Willis Bell. Hey, I'm Willis Bell. Hello, I'm Willis Bell.
Mr. Zeiss, not only do we offer you Denver, and I need not stress how beautiful that city is, but we don't expect you to travel around on a donkey. The firm provides a compact car, free of charge, while you work for us over the course of the summer.
A compact?
So, if you don't live too lavishly, perhaps you could buy a car after your summer with us.
I'll think about it. Now, isn't there a housing shortage in Denver?
Mr. Bell, is it? From,
Buffalo.
Oh, but it says here Pittsburgh.
My grandparents are from Pittsburgh, but I'm from Buffalo, really. Buffalo.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Oh, please be seated. Thank you. Mr. Bell, I have been looking over your resume, and I see that as a 1L, you received an A in property.
Yes, sir.
However, strangely, it doesn't seem to list your grades in any of your other courses. Now, what could be the reason for that, do you suppose?
Well, I thought you'd only be interested in the courses I did well in.
You've done well.
Thank you, Mr. Rice.
You know, or should know, that a lot of firms are going to want you. A lot. And many of them are bigger than our place, can offer you more money and other things as well. But we do good things, a lot of very interesting things. For example, we represent several newspapers, get involved with a lot of freedom of the press issues. Moreover, we're small enough to let you really do some of the important work. Well, you know, San Francisco is a lot different city than New York or Los Angeles, perhaps less intense. But you might find it stimulating for a summer. Well, there's my pitch. Check out the other firms.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, congratulations. This was your first interview, I understand, and your first job offer, too. Well, Hart, we'd really like to have you with us.
Thank you, sir.
All right, time's up. Out of there now. Let's go.
Knock it off, Belle. Wait your turn. It's women's hour.
Hey, out of there now. I'm in charge of the dorm.
What is the matter with you? Have you lost your mind or something?
I got another interview. I've been out all day. I've been sweating like a pig. You gonna get out of there or what?
No way, Belle.
Okay, baby.
You pirate!
Pass the soap. Pass the soap.
No, Mrs. Henley, I don't mind telling you my grades at all. I had a 3.6 grade average, made law review, and I might add I've already had 2 job offers.
You've done very well.
Could I ask a question? If you do give me a summer job, would you be willing to throw in a free apartment?
This may come as a surprise to you, Mr. Zeiss, but a few of us do not offer perks. Now, we expect a student to join with us for other reasons. Perhaps because we specialize in a type of litigation that may be of interest to a student.
Mrs. Henley, this may come as a big surprise to you, but a lot of firms do offer perks. And a lot of students, including this one, expect to get them.
I can see why you've done well in law school, Mr. Zeiss, and why it would not be advantageous for our firm to offer you a summer job. Thank you. That's all.
All right, I'll tell you. I only got a C in contracts, but I'm a hard worker. I work from 6 every morning till 12 every night. I'll work harder for your firm than any other student in the world.
Mr. Bell, if you're such a hard worker as you say, then how is it that you only got a C in contracts?
Maybe Kingsfield made a mistake when he graded my exam.
What's the matter with you, Belle? There's enough gloom in this place without you adding to it.
I only got 2 chances left. I've blown every interview.
What are you talking about?
I mean, Hart, he's got more job offers than he can handle. Ford doesn't even have to interview. I got 2 interviews left, 2 chances for a job, and I'll probably blow it. What's so great about Hart? Maybe the guy got better grades, but a lot of other guys got job offers, and their grades aren't so hot. The only plan I can think of is walking to the last interview with a gun and threaten to commit suicide if they don't give me a job.
Well, then, here's to a happy summer. Thank you. There you are. Right? Terry, excuse me one moment.
Speak of the devil.
Well, good evening, gentlemen.
Franklin.
Franklin, good to see you again.
James and Ford bagging their usual quota of our best students during the hunting season.
Well, we're trying. Actually, you have a very good crop this year.
Thank you, Franklin.
Oh, Charles, your recent article on moral consideration, it was excellent. We used it in our argument and won.
Man's thoughts are rather like a message in a bottle, flung into the immensity of the ocean. You never know where they travel or to what uses they will be put.
That was very well stated, Charles. Good night.
Good night, Franklin.
All right.
Yeah, in law and in recruiting, my former student, Mr. Ford, has used some pretty unorthodox methods. And yet, you know, I've observed James and Ford doesn't always get all our best students. There's still some who won't be treated just as a commodity to be bought, traded in. Some to whom power and money is not the sole consideration. For instance, you'll be meeting a young man by the name of James Hart.
I've interviewed him. He was my first interview. He's a wonderful young man. Now, we don't have a chance in hell of getting him against James and Ford.
Don't be too sure.
Charles, are you trying to tell me something in your own inimitable way?
I am always trying to tell someone something.
Well, I'd like to know their medical records.
I don't understand, sir.
It cost our firm a great deal to hire these students for a summer. Our only benefit is to hope that we can lure them back after they graduate. But we certainly don't want to waste money on someone who can't stand the stress of a merger battle. So, I'd like to know if any of these candidates have shown signs of mental instability. For instance, have any of them visited the law school psychiatrist? Some of the brightest students are the most unstable, and that does not show up in their resumes.
Sorry. Been at the library. Didn't have time to get back to my apartment and get dressed. Ah. You mind?
Would it make any difference if I did?
Hey, Bill. Let's go. Usual story. Defeat, disaster, humiliation, rejection, pain.
That's great.
Thanks a lot.
Mr. Hart, what a pleasure to see you again. Come in, please. I've been looking forward to this interview. Oh, I hope you don't mind. I've taken the liberty of ordering for you. Please, sit down. I suppose because you room with my son, I feel as if you're a member of the family. And in this sea of unknown students, that makes this a very special interview to me. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, that's fine. Oh, I know how rushed and confusing recruitment can be. In fact, this whole process of interviewing has become very competitive and highly undignified. Thank you. I'll do it. Thank you. Let me assure you that what I'm going to say has nothing to do with your relationship with my son. Perhaps you know the reputation of our firm. Like Charles Kingsfield, we take our work and our status very seriously. I'm anxious for you to taste this wine. I think you're going to be surprised to learn that it's a domestic. But I find I like it just as well as any of the French. Cheers.
Thank you. Very good. Very nice.
Well, you're on the law review here. Obviously, you've done very well. Undoubtedly, other firms have made offers to you. But for certain students, those with certain qualities, those whom we really want, we can make offers that no other firm can, i.e., stimulating work, a comfortable atmosphere in which to enjoy that work, and a promise for a very exciting future with us.
Ford! Your dad's terrific! I couldn't even begin to tell you what we ate because I couldn't pronounce it, and the wine was fantastic. And for dessert, we had something called Floating Island, which is this big bowl of stuff with little tiny cream puff candy islands floating in the middle of it.
I know what Floating Island is, Hart. And by the way, you're floating yourself. You're drunk,
Ford, wouldn't it be great if you and I could work together this summer? I mean, we could...
Did the subject of grades ever come up?
You never mentioned it.
Maybe didn't have to.
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
No, I'll get it. I'll get it. I seem to be the only one here who can.
God!
Hello. Oh, hello, Dad. Oh, no, I won't forget our breakfast appointment. Yes, I'll meet you at the hotel at 9. Right. Oh, listen, could you do me a favor? A friend of mine, a Willis Bell, he's a 2L. He just can't get a job. Could you give him an interview? Yeah, I know your schedule's tight, but I thought you might make an exception for him.
Willis Bell?
Well, then could you do it as a special favor for me? Bell's a really bright guy once you get to know him. Yeah, I see. No, I understand. Good night. Guess what?
What?
My father isn't going to give Bell an interview because poor old Willis only has a 2.8 average.
So what? What's the big surprise about that?
What's the surprise? The surprise is what my father is doing.
Connie, it's me.
Come on in, Hart. Sort of late. What do you want? Hart, what's up? You need a quick change? Find a phone booth.
Oh, hey, look, I'm sorry. I need to talk to someone. And my roommate is, involved elsewhere. Just that these decisions are so
Hard. Do I go to San Francisco or New York? How about L.A.? It's like Christmas. All these presents. I'm only allowed to pick one.
Yeah, well, for Willis Bell, it's a little bit more like Lent, Hart. This week, all this recruiting, it seems to have, I don't know, done something to your brain. I'm not sure if I like it. By the way, are you drunk?
A little.
What?
All right, a lot, but I've got some real problems. Look, there's this firm in San Francisco. It seems interesting. I like the guy. But then Ford's dad's firm, I mean, that's challenging. Hey, listen, if I take this job in New York with Ford's firm, would you come and live with me for the summer?
Doesn't work that way, Hart. I don't know how I feel about you. But I'll tell you something. I'm not chasing you around the country this summer. For your information, I've taken a job with Yosemite National Park. And that's a long commute from New York.
Yosemite National Park? What are you talking about?
I've taken a job with the Park Service.
You're a lawyer.
No, I'm not. I'm a law student, not a lawyer. I want to get away from this whole environment. This is going to be my last summer to do something really different. Next year, I'll be a 2L, just like you, and probably just as crazy about finding a job with a law firm.
Hey, Golden? Golden. Hey, can I talk to you?
For a second, I thought you were an apparition, sent by some friendly god to help me out, to write this issue of the law review for me. Ford, you want to join law review? Everyone around here has got recruiting madness. None of the 2Ls can concentrate on anything. I have been deserted, left to die of overwork.
I need your help.
You need my help? Are you out of your mind? Do you know what Kingsfield does if an issue of the law review doesn't come out on time? He kills for it. I mean, he extracts your fingernails one by one. Go away. Even the 3Ls, they figure if none of the 2Ls are working, why should they? What can I do? Hire a hitman? Just leave. I couldn't help you anyway. My eyes, they don't even focus anymore.
Who knows everything about this law school?
Charles W. Kingsfield, Jr., who is going to assassinate me.
And after him, it's you, president of Law Review. You know that no one is supposed to know any student's grades unless that student gives him permission. Well, my father knows the grades of every 2L here. He's violating the oldest law of the school, that grades are sacred.
Ford, your father's in a tough business. He's a hired gun who goes after companies, is involved in huge takeovers. I don't know anything. They are just rumors.
Like what?
That he pays people off to get students' grades, their class rank, and maybe more, to get a jump on other firms. But no one has confirmed anything. And even if they did, he wouldn't have broken the law, just a law school regulation. I get enough of the work ethic, of duty, loyalty, and honor around here every time I have to hand in stuff to Kingsfield. Let's face it, Ford, it's a tough world out there. Come on, what are you so worried about?
Hart, it is late. We've been talking all night. Now, I've gotten you safely home. I have done my part. There's nothing left to say.
Why would you want to take a job in Yosemite National Park?
I like bears.
You gonna give me any straight answers?
No. Probably not. We have been through all of this before. It is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Isn't that enough of an answer?
Why didn't you tell me you had this planned?
Well, I never found you coming to me for advice on where you ought to work. Plus, what is wrong with working in a park? You know, all of a sudden they start throwing these big bucks and these cars and these apartments at you, and you'll start looking down your nose at the thought of working in a park. Besides, I'm going to meet a lot of interesting people there. A lot of men, trail guides and riding instructors, rangers.
What?
It's a cheap shot, wasn't it? Yeah, at least I got your attention. I don't know what else to do to snap you out of this egocentric daze you've gotten yourself into. Art. You know, and I know, that actually I like you very much.
What is it? Well, sit down. Sit down.
Dad, you knew Hart's grade, his exact grade, before you even met him. It seems you also knew Belle's grades. Now, I'd like to think this is all some kind of crazy mistake. I believe in you. I believe in the firm. I know it's a tough firm, but I always thought it stood for something more.
Franklin, it's extremely late for a serious conversation like this. Granted, I'm used to working through the night. But if we must talk, why not do it comfortably? Sitting down, having a drink.
Dad, aren't you listening to me?
I hear you perfectly well. But I don't understand why you refuse to discuss this in a civilized manner. Sitting down.
If I sit down now, you'll have me believing you're St. Peter. I've seen the way you handle people, the way you handled my roommate. No, I am not sitting down, not until you give me some straight answers.
All right. What is it?
Do you get the grades of all the 2Ls in some secret way?
Yes. Franklin, I think your friend, Mr. Hart, would enjoy working at Janes and Ford. I wonder if you wouldn't do our firm a favor and let him know just how much satisfaction he'll have working with us.
Why doesn't this damn window open? Nothing in this crummy place works!
It helps if you unlock it first. How do you launch that like it was a missile? It must have gone up 4 stories. You better hope that on re-entry it doesn't hit someone on the head, because then you'll have committed a tort. And don't worry, I'll be your lead counsel and defend you to the bitter end.
No jokes. There's no time.
Ford, you are the most controlled person I've ever known, and now you're freaking out. What's going on?
I have an appointment with Kingsfield in a few minutes, and I don't have time to explain everything.
Kingsfield?
And the problem is I don't know what I'm going to say.
Even if we only have a few minutes, won't you tell me about this, whatever it is? Can you do that?
I have always admired my father. I've looked up to him. I've wanted to be like him. But now I don't think I want to be like him at all. I don't know what I want. I don't know where I should be headed. I feel like I don't even know who I am. The grand tradition of the Fords, the illustrious law firm of Janes and Ford. James, my father wants you badly. Not just because you're on law review, but because he knows exactly what your grade point average is. He knows how good you are. And he even asked me to use my influence to get you to join his firm.
Could he possibly know what my grade point average is?
Buy somebody off. What difference does it matter how? What matters is that he is cheating, violating the rules of the school, and he has been doing it for years. And I have to turn him into Keynes. So, James, don't let any of this affect your decision as to where you think you're going to work. I mean, like Golden says, it's a rough world out there, and we're all going to be in it sooner or later. Maybe it's a good idea you get a little taste of it this summer. I mean, you want to work for Janes and Ford, you do it.
Ford, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to help.
You want to know the funny part? He didn't even try to keep it from me. He thought I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he even thought I'd be proud of his ingenuity. How could he be so stupid? What did he think of me?
Well, Mr. Ford, a matter of vital importance. So secret and confidential that even my trusted secretary was not privy to it. But now you stand there totally mute. Could it be that the matter is so confidential that even you don't know what it is? Mr. Ford, my time is valuable, and you are squandering it. So, let's make an effort. See if by concentrating, you can discover the general subject at least.
Sir, I have come to talk to you about recruiting.
Ah, yes. The subject of recruiting. Are you having trouble finding a position?
No, it has nothing to do with anything like that.
Well, I thought not. No, Mr. Ford, there is something else on your mind. Now, perhaps by the Socratic method, I might be able to discover the subject, maybe even find the answer. But I think that in this instance, the initiative should be with you.
Sir, my father is the senior partner in a law firm called Janes and Ford in New York City.
I know all that, Mr. Ford. Your father and I are very old acquaintances. He's done a remarkable job converting a small, stodgy, but decent law office into one of the most powerful law firms on Wall Street. I know him well. In fact, I respect him for certain things, including his ingenuity and his initiative. So, continue, Mr. Ford.
Sir, no firm, no recruiter is supposed to know the grades of any student. Now, it is up to each student to say or not say what his grades are.
And you continue to tell me things I already know. Let me tell you something maybe you don't know. A proven violation of that rule might bring a firm to be banned from recruiting in this law school for 2 years at the least.
Sir, my father...
Your father?
I have nothing to say, sir. I'm sorry I took up your valuable
Mr.
time.
Ford, there are certain issues, for example, loyalty to the family versus loyalty to a school or institution, which are questions for philosophers. For you, the question does not involve philosophy, nor perhaps even honor. It involves your deepest personal emotion. Let me take care of the philosophy of the issues involved in recruiting and its implementation. I advise you to take care of your emotions. Good day, Mr. Ford. And good luck.
Somebody get that, will you?
Not me. I had to call it 2 weeks.
Yeah. Just a minute. You're gonna have to hang on. Belle, you've got to come out of your room sometime. It's not the end of the world. Belle, it sounded official. Belle, will you come out of your cave and join the land of the living?
They did everything. Did they make me an offer? No, they said they'd get back to me. Same thing all the other firms said. And the answer was always no. Connie, just leave me alone.
So, what's your plan for suicide this time? You gonna stay in your room until you starve to death? Look, for God's sake, will you be a man, come out of your room and answer the damn phone?
Yeah, this is Bell. Who are you? Sure you want Willis, Bell? No, yeah, this is Willis, Bell. Yes, yeah, I would. Yes, thank you. Thank you, God. Connie, I got a job with a firm in Denver.
Oh, that's terrific.
The guy said he knows I only got a C in contract, but he won't take a chance on me. Said they might have hidden potential.
Oh, that's terrific.
Can you believe it?
What? What's the problem?
Think I should take a job with a firm that would accept me?
Oh, don't get that.
I found this. I thought you might like to know that it's still around.
You keep it.
I can't. The initials aren't right.
Change your name. Or take mine. I don't think I want it anymore.
You know, your father hasn't broken any laws. Just a law school regulation.
You break a rule here, you break a rule there. You end up breaking a law. Who knows where my father stops? I'm not so sure I want to. Just what did it take for him to turn Janes and Ford around? Bribing judges, do you think? James, I just couldn't tell Kingsfield. God knows I tried. You know, the funny thing was, Kingsfield seemed to know everything beforehand. It was like he was reading my mind before I even entered the room.
Well, the legend is that he does know everything. Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Well, the truth is, my father's a crook.
If he is, Kingsfield will get him. It's his job. But you can't take it so hard.
You gonna work for him this summer?
Well, I've thought about it a lot. It's a very prestigious law firm. But I'm going to San Francisco.
Come on now. I leveled with you. You don't want to work for my father because you know all about this.
It has nothing to do with this. San Francisco's a great place. It's near wonderful national parks. I don't want to spend a whole summer locked up in an office. I want to get out every once in a while.
San Francisco? What do? Offer you 2 penthouses, 4 limos, and a cash bonus of $3 million?
They didn't offer me a thing. I want to be in San Francisco. I've got the rest of my life to work on Wall Street.
Why don't I believe you?
Fort, I like Mr. Rice. I had a fabulous interview. His law firm does interesting work. And, Connie took a job at Yosemite National Park. So this way I can be near her. So it was partially an emotional decision. Like yours when you couldn't turn in your father. Connie, you in there? I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah, come on in. Hi.
Hi. Listen, I've got some news for you. I made a decision. I'm going to San Francisco. It's a very good law firm with interesting litigation. And it's only a couple of hours from Yosemite National Park!
May I come in? Or do you prefer me to stand outside? Isn't it a father's privilege to say goodbye to his son? Thank you. Well, this is somewhat of an improvement over the dorms and your room there last year. But I can see that you need a few things. Proper bookcase, for one. That object is squalid. And a new sofa wouldn't hurt. I'll have them sent. 2 exceptional law students like you and Hart deserve better.
You're not trying to bribe us, are you?
Bribe you? I don't think so. Well, after all, I am your father. And fathers sometimes like to buy things for their sons. As far as Hart's concerned, I already think of him as a member of the family. The legal family, that is. Franklin, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to having you 2 working at the firm this summer.
Well, I wouldn't look forward too much if I were you.
What does that mean?
Hart isn't going to go to Janes and Ford this summer. He's decided to work with Rice in San Francisco.
When did he change his mind?
He didn't change his mind. He just made a decision.
That little bastard.
You don't like being turned down, do you?
No, I don't. It doesn't happen very often.
I know. That's why it's difficult for me to say what I have to. But I won't be working at Janes and Ford this summer either.
Well, I'll miss you.
There's something else. I went to Kingsfield this morning to tell him that you knew the grades of every 2L in this school. I wanted to turn you in. And I should have done it.
Does this really surprise you that much?
Oh, no. Now, I knew all about your ways. But when you come to my school, you use them on my friends.
Excuse me. I guess we'd better say goodbye. I see. You don't respect me. Goodbye.
Forget about respect. Can't you settle for love?
Yours very sincerely, and I'll sign that one myself.
Thank you, sir.
Nottingham, would you go to the window, please? What do you see?
It's very quiet, sir.
No persons in suits with briefcases and limousines?
No, sir.
That's good. We can now resume our peaceful academic existence. The plague of locusts has passed.